Hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he's not used to this fact, and we'll have a quick word with him. We were just chatting, me, Neil Mackenzie and Keith Ewan, about the fact that we're not used to seeing you on the third row, and what exactly is the reason for it?
No, that's right. Well, we've Michael did the northwest on my bike and did the slipper clutch, and it's not a genuine Honda part, so Honda don't want us to use it at the moment until we get a bit more development undergo. But it's totally changed the way the bike's working and everything. So, but hopefully we've got a good setup now and try and do it in the race.
Which seems somewhat detrimental, seeing you're trying to win a championship here, and you know, obviously you've got the equipment to do it, and you know how you want to do it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but you know that's where things go. But I'll try and plug in there today and see what we can do.
What's your plan from here?
Just go for it.
And not lend your bike to anybody next week?
No, that's right. No, but there's no plan really.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, listen, best of luck, and obviously it's going to give us a little bit of drama, so we quite like it in some ways. Let's move on forward, because what is a big plus for this is that if Karl Harris stays where he is in terms of points finishes, this man here, Jay Vincent, could have a chance of getting some really good points. Third at the moment, and well, we were just talking to Karl Harris, and he's behind you for a change. That's nice.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think it's just one of them circuits that anything can happen, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not ruling Karl Harris out just yet. You know, I'm sure he'll be there in the race. And hopefully we'll all be there, and it'll be a good battle.
You've always got a wise head on you. What's your game plan from here?
To be honest, I try and work a game plan, but today I've not got one. It's like I say, it's one of them circuits that I think anything can happen, so I'm just going to try and get a good start, hang in there, and hopefully be at the front at the end and try and win the race.
All right, best of luck to you. Let's hope he's got that smile on his face when he sees him. Alongside him, his teammate Leon Camier, looking very cool. You all right, Leon?
Spot on, mate.
Leave it at that. How cool is he? Spot on, mate. Let's have a quick word with Craig. Let's talk tactics, Craig, on the Triumph here. And I tell you what, I've said this before, but from where I'm looking, and looking at who's ahead of you, you've actually got a decent spot for a start here if you get a good start.
Yeah, not bad. I'm just going to take my brain out, leave it at the side of the track there, and, you know, see how the race pans out.
Where do you leave your brain?
You know, normally at home. This time I'm facing with me, I'm going to leave it at the side of the track.
I know that's not the case, because you do ride pretty wisely. Do you feel the way that if you can get a decent start that you can get up with them?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we've been putting good times on race tyres, so just got to see how it pans out.
Best of luck to you, and well, I hope he takes his brain with him, because he may need it. Let's see if we can get up to have a word with Michael. I mentioned the pressure was on Michael Laverty because Eugene's done the business. Now, Michael, I mean, you're on the front row. You've got a tough enough bunch to fight against, but now your brother's really thrown it against the cat amongst the pigeons. You've got to do it for the family now.
I'm going to have to. A double win would be fantastic. Hopefully, very soon, John can go up there and we can get a hat-trick in one day, but the super stocks aren't here, so it's not possible today, but I'm hoping to bring another win home to the family. It would be brilliant.
Just been talking, the start's massively important here at Mondello.
Yeah, I normally get quite good starts, and I'm on the inside here, so that's where I prefer to be. So hopefully I can stick it down the inside and hold my line, hopefully take the lead from the start, and we'll see what happens from there.
Best of luck to you. Now, I want to take you, before we have just about time, to, in my opinion, the story of the weekend here, right across the board. First of all, Cal Crutchlow riding brilliantly. Don't put your helmet on yet, just too quick. Look at that, perfectly coiffured hair as well before he goes out there. Cal riding brilliantly, Bridgestone's doing brilliantly, and Bridgestone on the front row with this man. How about it?
Yeah, you know, we're riding really well this weekend. My first time up here at Mondello Park, and I'm really enjoying the circuit, you know, qualifying on the front row, and, you know, a great lap from Tom Sykes. I didn't think that I was going to match his time, but I knew I'd be there or thereabouts, and it's great to be up here on the North Point Eckerard Honda and on the Bridgestones.
And you've never been here, that's fair to say as well.
Yeah, as I said, I've never been here before, and, you know, first couple of sessions we're just getting used to it, getting some advice off the crew chief Pete Jennings, and, you know, all the lads here working really hard, and, you know, thanks to everybody here, we're on the front row.
We know how tough this field is. How's your game plan going? What do you reckon for this? Are you going to try and break it?
I don't know, you know, we just have to see how it goes. It's really hard. We know how competitive the championship is, so we'll just be there or thereabouts.
All right, well, we know how nervous everybody is. How about Bridgestone? How nervous are you?
Very at the moment, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, well, there you go. You got the best there. Let's have a quick word, if we can, with Simon. Simon, how you feel about this one?
Yeah, good, confident. Just take it as it comes.
Confident, taking it as he comes, and don't forget, of course, Tom Sykes right there in pole position. Thumbs up from him, he's ready to go, there you go. That's the grid for the Supersport race. It could be a real cracker, and I'll tell you what, there's plenty of stories and plenty of guys all wanting to take a victory here at Mondello. Back to you guys.
And win one for Suzuki. Ducati have won, Honda have won. Maybe it's their turn today.
Okay, money where your mouth is. Who's your money on?
Karl Harris.
Karl, from the third row. That's the first time I've ever seen you take an outsider like that. Karl Harris is a great battler and a great racer, but I think he's going to be mired at turn 1 and going to have a real struggle. But he's got a lot of laps to do in him. We're going to find out right now, though. Usually, commentators' blight is ripe. Down to turn 1, good start from the Suzuki, but a great start from the inside. Michael Lavity on the big 7.49 Ducati, if I can sort my CCs out. 4, Michael Lavity leads then. What a start for the Monster Bob man. He really did make that bike line up perfectly from the inside of the grid.
Karl Harris hit someone there.
Well, you're going to expect a bit more of it. What a great start from Karl Harris, the way he's gone through there. So number 1, Karl Harris, a great start from the third row, and he really did need that. Otherwise, he would get nowhere in this race at all.
Tom Sykes at the moment. Yeah, I think it was Tom Sykes' teammate Adrian Coates that Karl Harris hit.
So we've got somebody down, it looks like, is that 56 or 55? Darren Lindsay, maybe, if it's Darren Lindsay. Oh, out the seat again. Is that Sykes out the seat? Wow, dirt everywhere. Well, we did expect this to be a great race. That's Jay Vincent up the inside. No, he's not quite up the inside. I can feel my voice is going to be wrecked by the end of this. We've already had one British Superbike race that was stunning, to say the least, and this Super Sports race could give us something similar. I can see Craig Jones hanging on a triumph at the back of this bunch as well. Watch out for 18, Craig Jones. 17 is Leon Camia on the Paget's Honda in the middle of that lot. Pere Riba on the MSS Discovery Kawasaki is right on the back of that bunch as well. But out front is Michael Lavity, bike number 4, the 749 Monster Mob Ducati. They're not happy with their superbike at the moment, but certainly they've dialed that 749 in the hands of Lavity. And Lavity's also learned how to qualify it as well, giving himself half a chance on the front row. There's Karl Harris. Harris was down in 7th place, but may have managed to force his way through. Just another couple of places. Oh, he's under Andrews. Simon Andrews, I think that is, has just got harassed. Oh, and he's pushed him down into the dirt as they come onto the front straight here. They really are going to have to sort that piece of agriculture out, aren't they? Harris after Jay Vincent now.
Bit wide there into turn 1, but he pulled it back. He's got Jay Vincent in front of him now.
Did you tell him you were going to put money on him? He didn't lose it, really. He's up into 5th place now, Karl Harris, as he crossed the line.
Yeah, he's had no problem stopping. I don't know what clutch he's got in there, but whatever he's doing, it's working.
Chris Barton is a faller, but he's okay, I'm told. 58 is also down, Martin Buckles, but we are at the front. Well, I think the problem that Karl Harris has had is he's had to dial his suspension in something different to make it work. If he hasn't got a slipper clutch in that bike, he may have been a bit of a disadvantage, but they've had to work very hard to get the bike to handle slightly differently for him here after they took that away from him, and they've done a great job, Honda, and made it work, as have White Power, of course, a White Power suspension on the Honda.
Cal Crutchlow.
Oh, look at this.
Cal Crutchlow in 2nd, doing a brilliant job.
On the Bridgestones. Got to mention that because we saw Gary Hartshorn down on the line a little bit earlier on. He was more nervous, I think, than Cal Crutchlow.
Bridgestone, the unknown quantity for the Bridgestones, they haven't done race distance. They've got some new tyres this weekend. Harris around the outside.
Around the outside, Neil. Sorry to get across you, but that was worth mentioning. That was around the outside job on Jay Vincent, of all people.
I haven't seen Karl ride this hard for quite a few races. He's quite confident beginning the season, but he really hasn't had to dig deep. He has got some big resources of talent in there, and he's needing to bring them up this weekend.
Well, I take it all back from the 3rd row of the grid. The way that this guy has gone on the opening couple of laps has been stunning. We're about to start lap 3, and he is up into what? 4th place at the moment. 35, Cal Crutchlow. Tom Sykes behind him there on the TAS Suzuki with the menacing Karl Harris on the HM Plant Honda. There it is. Gives you some idea of the lap record going to Karl Harris. That's 3 lap records out of 3 races we've had so far today.
It's no surprise, but
I tell you, Karl Harris has got a jump start penalty.
No.
Karl Harris has got a jump start penalty. He's got a ride through penalty, so despite some sterling work on the opening 3 laps, he has a penalty against him. He was obviously rolling as the lights changed. Karl Harris has got to come through the pits. Well, it's a short. The only consolation there is Mondello Park has the shortest pit lane in existence.
He's still potentially looking at a race win at this time of the race, but not anymore
now.
when he has to run through the...
It's gone for him now. I wonder if he's going to bother to go in. It's very difficult to read your board as well as you come out of that first turn.
It'll be absolutely fuming. I'd say that Michael Lafferty still would be difficult to pass. It's difficult to catch.
Yeah, already. Michael Laverty on the Monster Bob 749 Ducati out front then at the moment. We almost forgot about him at the moment. Second place, Cal Crutchlow, as he qualified. So Cal Crutchlow on the North Point Eckerold Honda. Tom Sykes on the TAS Suzuki, being badgered by number 1 on the HM Plant Honda of Karl Harris, who perhaps yet doesn't know that he's got a ride-through penalty coming his way. Certainly doesn't, because he hasn't pulled in the end of the pit road there. He will have to look now onto pit wall.
I hate stop-go penalties,
So do I.
right-through penalties. Why not add some time on? Because you just want to see the guys out there racing.
Box. Well, that's Ian Richards then, the Czech technician for Karl Harris, has put on his board box. That means pit box. He's got to pull in to the pit lane, ride through the pit lane. Oh, Matt Llewellyn down on the Ducati Coventry bike. So Matt Llewellyn, vastly experienced. Not too happy to be experienced at dumping it in the deck here at Mondello, I'm sure. So did Karl Harris see his board? Of course, the next stage up, I think he gets 3 laps to ride past that that box sign. If he doesn't come in at the end of the 3 laps, he gets a black flag, and if he doesn't pull in at a black flag, then Karl Harris will get severely slapped across the wrist. Laverty still leads by 2.7 seconds from Tom Sykes and Karl Harris. Next up is Cal Crutchlow, who slipped to 4th place, but will pick up 3rd place because Karl Harris will not retain that position. He has to come in. Well, drama indeed here. Not been his week again at Mondello Park, Karl Harris, has it? Last year he had a, well, very difficult time indeed here, taken to the grass several times. And this year again, not a great qualifying position, and now a jump start penalty.
It's not good for his championship, the form Michael Laverty has at the moment as well. Well, bad day all round for HM Plant Honda.
So far, if you haven't been watching, Michael Rudder crashed out while leading of race. Oh, Sykes gets it spinning, and Karl Harris almost collects the rear end. Of course, that will save him the job of having to come down pit lane if he throws it up the street. There is pit lane.
He's in.
He is in. Well, tell you what, I'm always impressed by Karl Harris because he must be frustrated and angry at what he's got to do. But right on cue, comes in, he's going to do the job about town. He's got to go all the way through, a ride-through penalty. No, you've got to keep going, Karl.
He doesn't know why he's in. He doesn't realise the job to start.
No, ride through, yeah. He doesn't know what to do because it used to be stop-go, but now it's a ride-through penalty. He's got some work to do now. Dear me. Let's take a look and see where he's dropped to. Harris has dropped to 9th place. So that has dropped him from a potential race winning, or at least 2nd place on the podium position, to 9th place. Still points he's going to gain, but he's got a lot of work to do to get serious points here.
He certainly has.
Michael Laverty leads, Tom Sykes in 2nd place, Cal Crutchlow 3rd, Stuart Andrews on the Yamaha up to 4th place now, Jay Vincent slipping down to 5th, Leon Camia, his teammate, in 6th place, Pere Riba in 7th, Craig Jones in 8th, and Karl Harris dropping to 9th. That's how it looks. Laverty, Sykes, Crutchlow, Andrews, Vincent, Camia. The rest of our leaderboard. Luke Quigley down in 10th place, Johnny Ray on the Red Bull Rookies Honda in 11th, Shane Norval in 12th place, former Grand Prix rider and British 250 runner. Tom Sykes on the TS Suzuki. That bike just looks, when it lays in, just looks a bit lazy. It looks like it's just not quite got the grip that he would perhaps like.
Yeah, suspension looks a little bit soft mid-corner. Just when he gets on the throttle, it just dips down, it sags a bit and then loses a bit of traction. A little bit unstable.
This is definitely a battle for 2nd place here because there's a lot of great runners. That's Simon Andrews, and we know how quick he can be on the Yamaha. Really, this Mondello Park track is all about just getting your head down, getting on with it, and scratching away. You might not have the best handling motorcycle, but you can force it to fit here. As the last turn on the track comes into focus, and through goes Simon Andrews. That was a nice little move, just took the opportunity, and really there was a big gap left for him by Cal Crutchlow, and Andrews goes straight up into 3rd place.
Well, the way these guys are riding, Karl Harris could gain 4 places in 1 lap quite easily and be nowhere near them.
Actually, I thought it was remarkably tidy considering where we are and what it means to be on that podium nowadays for British Supersport riders. Pere Riba just comes into view on the green Kawasaki, a little bit off the pace at the moment. Sykes, Andrews, Crutchlow and Jay Vincent, they are all in picture. Karl Harris had set the fastest lap. That was on lap 2, 1:43.183, a new lap record, the 3rd new lap record of our Sky Sports day. 10 laps just under left to go, so a long way still to go. Michael Laverty looking to make it a double for the Laverty family here, and at the moment with a 4.6 second lead, unless he does anything daft or the Ducati grenades in some unfortunate manner. And I don't expect it to, because the Monster Bob Ducati team are very, very good at keeping that 749 together.
Well, Michael Lafferty already got a 1 point lead in the championship, and his main rival Karl Harris just 1 point behind him, of course. At the moment, they're in 9th position after that ride-through penalty for his jump start.
Yeah, and Harris still in 9th place, 2.2 seconds off of Craig Jones. That'll be an interesting little battle when those two come together. Jonesy won't want to give it up. Cal Crutchlow now making the Bridgestones work very hard indeed as he starts to spin up.
Actually, Craig Jones normally makes lightning starts. I'm surprised that that didn't happen this weekend. I was watching him in practice and he was so strong in the brakes into turn 1. Looked so good. Bike looked really good.
I think there was just so many motorcycles all spread out across turn 1, and he was so far back. Here
he is.
Here comes Jonesy on bike 18. The Triumph goes through, and then number 1 is Karl Harris, yes, in 9th place. Well, it must be demoralising, but he's just got to do a job of work, and I think we can make the kind of analogy, if you like, with Sean Emmett at Oldham Park. Sean Emmett rode around in the British Superbike race and was criticised quite badly by the team owner for pulling in when he didn't think he could do much better than a 10th place. But here we have Karl Harris staying out there and working hard despite the demoralisation of having to be pulled through for a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, but he was the fastest man on the track that last lap. He did a 1:43.2. The next fastest man was Simon Andrews, 1:43.6. So Karl Harris,
get out of that seat. So Tom Sykes on the Suzuki, right out of the seat. Cal Crutchlow looking to make capital of that if he can. Tell you what, Sykes has had a really lively rear end on that motorcycle. Yeah. It is not happy, is it?
It's not quite planted. The GSXR is good mid-range power, and that's just where that power's coming on strong, where the rear end's lacking a bit of grip. Cal Crutchlow and Tom Sykes a few years ago battled it out in the Junior Superstock Championship, so they're no strangers to each other on the racetrack.
Also known as Junior Suicide.
Oh, I don't like to go there.
Still it is Laverty out front. Still it is Simon Andrews on the Piranha Racing motorcycle. The Yamaha in 2nd place, bike number 20. Then it is Sykes from Crutchlow, 35 from 36. 36 from 35 even, if I get them round the right way. Oh, these two are at it. Jay Vincent, well, maybe he's just sitting there waiting to pick up the bits, but I tell you what, he can't wait too long, because Pere Riba on the Kawasaki is closing in now, and he's got Leon Camia, that's Jay Vincent's teammate on the Paget's Honda, and he's closing in as well. He's a real talent, that youngster. Bike 17 is Leon Camia. Meanwhile, we make up our mind, well, he's there, and Pere Riba is right there, so the Spaniard is going to be right with him in a minute. And what was a 4-bike race is going to become a 6-bike race for that for that 3rd place.
He's a smart cookie, Pere Riba. All year, just beavers away in practice, makes good progress, brings it home, no crashing, just works away getting that bike right. And this weekend is same again, stranger to this racetrack, but he's coming here with the Kawasaki and he's got it right on the pace and looking like he could even get on the podium here.
Not a good qualifying setup from the Kawasaki, but a great race setup, we were led to believe, and that certainly looks to be borne out now in the results. Pere Riba 4th in the championship, 20 points adrift of Michael Laverty at this point. And it's going to be damage limitation for most people. Karl Harris in the worst position. Jay Vincent is 3rd in the series on 59 points. So 12 points adrift of Laverty. And Jay Vincent really does need to get in front of these two. I'm sure I don't need to tell him that. And again, he looks as well as if that back end of his motorcycle's working quite hard. So let's have a look at tyres at the moment. We have got Tom Sykes on Pirelli. Michael Laverty's a Dunlop runner at the front at the moment. Adrian Coates is not in the equation. Where is Adrian Coates anyway? I haven't seen him in the equation, and I really expected him to be interfering with these guys. Adrian Coates, he's a baller. Adrian Coates is down on the deck, I've just been told, at Dunlop Corner. So Adrian Coates has just gone out off camera. As sliding it is Tom Sykes from Cal Crutchlow. If you remember, Cal Crutchlow is a graduate from the Yamaha R6 Cup last year, and came into the Supersport series. It's one of the toughest championships anywhere in the world, and he's acquitted himself so well. Tommy Hill, of course, another R6 Cup graduate, has acquitted himself brilliantly in the Superbike series.
Karl Harris passed Craig Jones up to 8th position. Leon Cammy is the next guy in front of Karl Harris.
He's making hard work of it, though. He's got a long way to go to move it right up to the front. Let's have a look. Harris is 9.9 seconds back on Laverty.
Well, Laverty's 3 seconds in front of Andrews,
well,
so 6 seconds behind this bunch.
That'll do.
There he's there. That's not a million miles away from me.
That's incredible. Our monitor cannot lie. say, because it's electronic, but Karl Harris must have made up a couple of seconds on this very last lap.
Karl Harris is on fire.
We're on lap 9 of 16. It's going to be Leon Camier that's duffed up by Karl Harris in a minute 17. Is Camier one. There is the defending champion in this British Supersports Championship, of course. Karl Harris opted to stay down in the Supersports class. Lavity leads by 3.2 seconds from Simon Andrews and the Piranha Yamaha in second place. Tom Sykes on the TAA Suzuki's in third place. Cal Crutchlow on the North Point Ekerald motorcycle in fourth. And this is the battle for Camier and Harris.
I'm by no means happy for Karl Harris being back there, but like Valentino Rossi, I like to see Karl Harris' back against the wall to see what he can up with, because he is one special rider. When he needs to dig deep, he can.
He can, and he is. Unsettled here at Mondello Park throughout practice and then qualifying. Still looking for a good race setup this morning when they went out for warm-up. And then, having found what they think is a great race setup, being penalised for a jump start, Karl Harris has just about had the lot to contend with here at Mondello Park. And still, he has found the determination to force his way through after that ride-through penalty up onto the tail of Leon Camier. And suspect the pass is going to be at turn 1 here. Leon Camier can do nothing except move over. And Harris moves up into 7th place then.
Now he's got a clear track between himself and Pere Riba.
There is Pere Riba, who has closed it right up onto the rear end of 24. Jay Vincent, former Grand Prix rider. So Pere Riba, and you mentioned, Neil, sterling work we've had from him. He just grabs the points wherever he can.
He really does a good job living in a strange country.
What's that, Spain?
Scotland.
Very good, Neil.
Well, he might have bunked up with Ian McPherson. Gregorio Lavia lives up there in Helensburgh.
I'll tell you what, there's some stars wandering around in the paddock here, isn't it? Ian McPherson, he's riding in the next World Supersports round as well, just as a bit of a scoop here on Sky Sports.
Vance On team back on with his old team on the, well, Tincati Bar. I think it's Alpha Technic built CBR 600 Honda.
Okay, you wear that anorak. It must have been after they looked at us at Snetterton, of course, and McPherson having a great ride there before he finally dumped it in the closing stages. But we are now at round 5 here at Mondello Park, and this has been a race and a half for this third place at the moment. Sykes at the moment on bike 36 is there in third place. Crutchlow is fourth on bike 35. Jay Vincent about to be duffed up on bike 24 by 9. Pere Riba on the Kawasaki. Not yet, but this could be a passing manoeuvre. That Kawasaki stops and turns, not close enough.
The good thing for Karl Harris is these guys are shuffling each other, they're holding each other up a little bit. Every time that happens, Karl Harris gets closer.
Okay, you said that Karl Harris would win this race from the beginning. I take that as a very brave prediction, considering he was on the third row of the grid.
Yeah, but
where's he going to finish now then?
He didn't let me into his little jump start complication on the rostrum.
Lavity and Andrews, that's the difference now in their lap times as I get all excited. So a little bit of difference, 2.2 seconds. Andrews is closing in on Lavity. That is Andrews going through as we look back for the battle for third place at the minute. Still it is Tom Sykes, the pole man here on the TAS Suzuki. And it is Cal Crutchlow on the Bridgestone Shod North Point Ekerald Honda, being passed by the Paget's Honda of Jay Vincent. Oh,
if Karl Harris catches and passes number 35 Cal Crutchlow, it's going to be so weird for him, because the last time he saw him, he was going in the pit lane.
Good point. I'm sure he'll respond to it accordingly. Cal Crutchlow looking at the inside of Tom Sykes. Sykes' motorcycle, we questioned whether it was set up that well here, but it's certainly well enough to stay in third place at the minute. But he's got a hell of a queue joining him. Harris is on the tail now of Pere Riba on the Kawasaki. So the HM Plant CBR 600RR of Karl Harris, the defending champion, is right there with this man, Pere Riba, bike number 9.
Good to see Paul Young back this weekend. At the moment, running down 16th place on the Vitrans Honda. Suffered that nasty arm injury in the first lap of the Supersport race at Brands Hatch. But he's back. He said it's really difficult coming back here, but it's because it's a physical circuit. But he's getting back to fitness.
Michael Lavity only leads by 1.6 seconds now. Lavity's lead is down to 1.6 seconds from the charging Simon Andrews. Bike number 20, the Piranha Racing Yamaha, is closing in. So Simon Andrews in front of this battle for third place is easing his way up to the wheel of Michael Lavity. Lavity has still got a little way to go yet. We're only on lap 12 of 16. He cannot be caught napping.
He certainly can't, and this is anyone's podium. The final podium position will go to one of this bunch. There's 6 in the bunch at the moment. Tom Sykes at the front, Leon Camier at the back.
Watch out for Harris. Seemingly taking his time now, but he hasn't got much time left. That's Leon Camier that is also closing up to the back of the bunch. Certainly, I think they've been tripping themselves up so much. It's these two in front, really. They can't quite make the break. Sykes in front of Crutchlow. Crutchlow maybe not with the pace to make the pass, but certainly Jay Vincent and Pere Riba, I thought, would have been in a position to capitalise on the two battling for that third place in front of him. Look at Harris, he's looking for every line that he can get the drive. He's just looking for the best line to get that Honda lined up to make a pass on Riba. Riba not going to be an easy man to pass. That Kawasaki stops and steers pretty damn well.
It's not slow either.
No, it isn't slow. It sounds like it's going to cut your throat. Whoa! There we go then. Riba underneath Jay Vincent, finally taking his opportunity. Is Karl Harris going to follow through? Yes, he is.
He certainly is.
Not quite close enough. Jay Vincent just, as we chuckle here, Jay Vincent then is going to lose it soon from Karl Harris, surely, as Leon Camier now comes back into the equation. Pere Riba grabbing the places. They drop it down in the ditch at the edge of the track. Soon it is going to be Sykes and Crutchlow under the severest of pressure. Still out front is Laverty, 1.1 second. The lead is down to over Simon Andrews in second place as we stick with this third place battle, still led by 36, Tom Sykes. Who's it going to be, Neil? Come on, you're the expert in here.
I don't know, Pere Riba is starting to make a move now. He's been watching, waiting, saving his tyres through this race. These two guys, Tom Sykes and Cal Crutchlow, old adversaries from a few years ago, but that final podium position, it's like winning and finishing second. Finishing third and finishing fourth is horrible.
Pere Riba on the Metzler tyres, vastly experienced at Supersport level. He's going to need all of that here.
Tell you what, Bridgestone's doing a good job.
Yeah, they are.
Good test for...
Well, they were just wondering, I mean, they were confident that it would make it through to the end of the race and still stick with them. And if it does, then Bridgestone have really upped their game as far as Supersports tyres are concerned.
Is Karl Harris down the inside of Jay? No, he's not quite
it's just not close enough. I think the Honda, the Paget's Honda, has the pace as well of the HM plant bike. Oh, look at that! Harris lighting the rear end up, playing a darkie all the way out.
The last lap's going to be interesting between these two, or maybe these three, or maybe these 6.
Neil McKenzie.
There he goes, Karl down the inside, makes it stick.
That's the same place that Riba passed Vincent, so Jay Vincent obviously with a little bit of trouble into that turn. Now he's got his teammate to contend with. 17 is Leon Camier on the back of the bunch. That's Jay Vincent's teammate, but at the front, Crutchlow has really got to make a pass. Pere Riba's going to duff up the pair of them if it's, we are about to start.
Yeah, I reckon Karl Harris had Pere Riba lined up till Pere Riba passed Jay Vincent, so Karl Harris has got to resume that position and see where maybe he can push a move on Pere.
So Karl Harris, bike number 1 is right there. There it is. Look at this. Simon Andrews has closed right in. We're on lap 14 of the 16. Laverty has got a race on his hands. Simon Andrews, well, I'm going to have to look back to see if Simon Andrews, I don't remember any race wins from Simon Andrews.
No,
ever in the Supersports class. He qualifies well.
He's a rostrum finisher. The rostrum finisher from last year. The R6 Yamaha has been strong last year. It's a very fast motorcycle, but working well here.
Finished third in the championship last year. No race wins to him, whereas everybody all around him had taken a race win. So Simon Andrews on for his first race win, as far as my records and memory go. And Laverty is being caught. Riba looking up the inside of the battling Sykes and Crutchlow. He gets Crutchlow. In fact, I think Crutchlow had no choice. I think Pere moved him up and out of the way. Harris again has another rider to contend with if he's going to stay on the rear end of Pere Riba. Riba looking very, very calm, cool and collected. He's worked very hard, hasn't he, and come through from the rear end of this leading group, lap on lap, but with what, a lap and a half left to go. In fact, 2.5 laps left to go even. Harris now has Cal Crutchlow to deal with. Still Laverty and Andrews, just 0.6 of a second between Laverty and Andrew according to my monitor, and the monitor never lies. Laverty and Andrews are surely going to have a bit of a... Oh, look at that, that's less than 0.6 of a second now. Andrews, and it is Andrews in front. I was just worried whether the camera angle was slightly strange there. Andrews has caught and passed Laverty. So Simon Andrews goes to the front of the pack. Simon Andrews Dunlop shod. Michael Laverty, Dunlop shod.
6th in the championship. This would do his championship no harm at all. Because the guys in front of him are Luke Quigley and Pere Riba, Jay Vincent. So big jump up in the championship. Simon Andrews can pull this one off. Karl Harris is up to 4th.
He certainly is. How did he manage to do that? Well, it's called sod's law when you've got a situation at the front where Simon Andrews is vying for the lead. We go to take a look at that, then we come back and wonder how Karl Harris had managed to get past Pere Riba and Cal Crutchlow all in one move. But he did, and he is, and he's there. He's now right on Tom Sykes. Well, tell you what, a 3rd place for him after a drive-through is a superb result for Karl Harris. Not the one he would have wanted, but certainly the one he's been made to fight for. And 3rd place, and what, 13 points?
It is too bad because that bike obviously working well now.
So, Tom Sykes, next in the sights of Karl Harris. Simon Andrews' lead over the line was just a 1/10 of a second.
How good is that?
Exactly the same again. That's a Supersport's bike. He just lights it up at the rear end. More natural talent in his right hand than I think you see in many young riders. Just still 25 years old, Karl Harris, remember. Gets no closer than that.
He just can't give anything away in Supersport racing. He's got a lap and a bit to make a move with Tom Sykes.
I think it may be coming down here into the last turn on the course. He jigs it to the inside, forces his way through. Can he pull it tight? No, he's a bit wide. He might have lost the drive here. He has. Sykes has gone back past. That Suzuki isn't lacking in horses. Last lap flag out to the left of your screen. Still Sykes on the inside, but he's going to drop it over his nose.
Nice move.
Brave move. Dropped it over the nose of Sykes.
Stunning.
So, Karl Harris again living up to expectations as he lights up the rear wheel just one more time for good measure. Will Pere Riba grab 4th place off of Sykes now? Still Andrews leading by nearly a second over the line. So Simon Andrews has got this in the bag, provided he keeps his head. 2nd place will go to Michael Laverty, and he and Monster Mob will be very disappointed with that. And a new lap record for Simon Andrews at the front to boot. Simon Andrews is doing it all right. He might have started from 3rd place on the grid, but he's got the fastest lap and the race just about in the bag. We're on the last lap. The big fight has been for Karl Harris after a ride-through penalty. He's come up into 3rd place and looks safe there now. Andrews, Laverty and Harris in that order. Yamaha, Ducati and Honda with the Kawasaki in 4th place. Don't get that in many championships. 4 different makes in the top 4 places. Last lap time.
Bike marker in the way.
There it is. Simon Andrews, not far left to go now, taking a long look round. He knows he's done it. Over the line comes Simon Andrews. Great style from him. The Piranha Racing Team, it's been a long time coming, but he takes the win. Michael Laverty will be disappointed, and I wonder what the problems were in the closing stages for Laverty. Maybe he used up his tyres, I don't know. But hero of the day, once again, Karl Harris on the HM plant, CBR 600RR, taking that 3rd place after a ride-through penalty, and that really has.
Simon Andrews has dumped his bike.
And he's dumped it big style there, judging by a look then at the result. Simon Andrews, well, the only mistake he made all day was dropping the bike on the slowing down lap. Michael Laverty forced, after leading the race for the majority of the race, into 2nd place. Karl Harris, after a ride-through penalty for a jump start, finishes in 3rd place and retains his aim at winning this championship. Tom Sykes, pole man he may have been, 4th place he ended up. Cal Crutchlow, the Bridgestone shod Cal Crutchlow in 5th place. Pere Riba on the MSS Discovery Kawasaki in 6th place. Jay Vincent in 7th. Leon Kamau in 8th. Luke Quigley on the Bill-based Knots Motorcycles bike was down in 9th place. Craig Jones on the Triumph, disappointing for him and for Jack Valentine at Triumph in 10th place. Paul Young on his comeback in 11th. Johnny Ray on the Red Bull Rookies Honda in 12th place. Hilton Hinks, a local man, in just 13th. Lee Jackson and Darren Lindsay, an Ulsterman there, taking up the last point in the Supersports race today. So Michael Laverty leads now by just, 5 points over Karl Harris. It could have been so much better for Michael Laverty, but Karl Harris retains his efforts at the front of the series. Jay Vincent is now just 1 point in front of Simon Andrews, who's moved up to 4th place. Pere Riba has dropped to 5th. Luke Quigley is 6th. Craig Jones 7th. And Cal Crutchlow